Hello, and welcome to another episode for the Career Conversations podcast. Today we have our guest, Lama. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Lama Mohamed. I'm a civil engineering student here at Kirkwood. I moved here October of 2023.
Okay.
I just messed up the dates. I moved here,
Calculating.
October of 2023, and I'm originally from Sudan.
Okay, awesome. Well, so glad that you could be a part of the podcast here. And tell us, what is your major and what's been a favorite class so far?
I'm a civil engineering major, and my favorite class so far has been Engineering 1 or Engineering Design. It's just the perfect balance between math, physics, and 3D modeling. It just felt like I was doing actual engineering work.
Okay, awesome. And I love how you break it down because I've never taken an engineering class, so I didn't realize there
I
was
don't think you
those
want to.
Awesome, nice. Well, I wanted to get into a little bit about hearing your story of your internship search. So if you could tell us, when did you start searching, like which semester? And then what was the semester that you were wanting to have the internship?
Okay, so I started in December during the winter break and was hoping to land one for this summer, especially after completing one last summer with the through the LSIM program here at Kirkwood.
Okay.
It just excited me more to apply for another one.
Awesome. And what was that program again, and how do you learn about that program?
So it's called LSIM Club. It's a program here at Kirkwood for underrepresented minorities, where they connect you with different researchers and schools, so you can get research opportunities from.
Sure. New to me. I'm learning things too. So this is great in case there's any other listeners that are curious. So thank you for expanding on that.
Yeah, of course.
So next, I'm curious, what resources did you use in finding any internships?
I started by modifying my resume. I did not have a resume before I came here. So I started by creating one and talking with career services.
Okay.
They walked me through the whole process of job applying, and they introduced me to different job platforms, job board platforms, and Handshake was one of them.
Okay.
I also attended a career fair at Iowa State, and then conferences.
Awesome. Great. So I didn't realize that you had gone to Iowa State for the career fair. So that's great for students to know that, not just any career fair opportunities here at Kirkwood, but that students can go to others as well.
Yes. And also I went through the LSAM program. So it's another plus.
Yes. Wow. This is sounding like a great program that's been able to connect you to different pieces.
Yeah.
So great. All right. So here we're going to hear more about those details of the search. So can you share with us your internship search and how that was and how career services supported you throughout the process?
So the whole process was an emotional roller coaster. It started at the career fair at Iowa State that I told you about.
Okay.
I attended there. That was sometime during September. There, I connected with a recruiter. He was basically selling the job to me. Before I even introduced myself, just by the lanyard that had civil engineering on it, he just started selling the job to me. I felt it gave me a confidence boost, and I thought I just needed to just complete the application for formalities, and I'm all set. I got this job. But I went back home. I applied. I indeed did apply. And second day, I heard back from them, rejection.
Wow. What a surprise.
Yeah. I got a rejection, but I decided to not give up. One of the financial aid advisors here at Kirkwood, Jacob, he suggested that I apply to a local government position, which was an internship too.
Sure.
And for civil engineers working in the government sector is a huge deal, especially since it's more focused on transportation and the infrastructure and stuff.
Sure.
So it was a really huge deal, but I wasn't really interested in it because I wanted something out of state, especially after my internship last summer. I wanted to relive that experience and move out of state for the summer.
Sure.
I applied carelessly, didn't think about it too much, and hoping to get one from out of state until I heard back from them and they wanted to interview me.
Ooh.
Yeah. emotional roller coaster. I
Yes,
told you.
yes.
Until they wanted to interview me. So indeed, we did complete the interview, and it went really, really well, and I got the job.
Wow. So they offered it to you.
Yes, they did
Wow.
offer me the job, and I started the pre-employment process. And
Okay.
part of it was to complete a medical exam. And this was sometime mid-February, which was peak winter season during the snowstorms, especially in Iowa.
Yes.
So I had to, I don't think they had walk-ins, like the clinics that they sent me didn't have walk-ins. So I had to schedule an appointment, and I scheduled it 2 days after the deadline they gave me. So they gave me a deadline to complete the medical exam. I completed it. I was scheduled to complete it 2 days after the deadline and didn't think much of it. Again, it's just a normal thing to me. So,
So you were saying that you had scheduled it for 2 days after the deadline.
yes, thank you. I scheduled it 2 days after the deadline and didn't think much of it. Until the morning of the deadline, the hiring manager sent me an email saying, "Hey, Lama, did you complete the medical exam?" I replied honestly and said no, and explained the situation. And then she said, in a very concise, not rude, but concise email, she said, "Unfortunately, due to you not being able to complete the medical exam by the deadline, we're going to rescind the offer."
Wow. So they resend the offer.
Yes, I did not know that was a thing, and I had to Google it.
Wow. Yeah.
Yes. So they rescinded the offer. I gave up this time. I was very frustrated and disappointed and felt like this was the end of the world. Yes. So
That isn't. Yes, definitely a journey.
yes. And then I decided to give it one last shot just a couple weeks before the summer break. And I applied through Handshake, which is the platform, the job board platform. I had to just put in my information, and it connected me to so many companies. I got 2 interviews from that.
Oh, wow.
platform.
That's awesome.
Yes. And both of the interviews went great, but both ended with rejections. So, yeah.
Goodness. Well, truly, what an emotional roller coaster of all these experiences. So, although you may not have received the internship that you're hoping for in the semester that you were hoping for, you have so much that you took away and so many lessons that you learned.
Definitely.
So, what are some takeaways or what are some things that you learned in this whole entire process?
Even though, like you said, even though I didn't get the job or didn't get the internship, I ended up gaining so many soft skills I didn't have before this journey.
Wow.
Starting from interview skills, just having a professional resume that I can, a professional resume always on standby. Also, I learned how to communicate professionally. Because, for example, with the government job that I didn't get, if I had communicated beforehand that, before the deadline, that something was going on or like the snowstorm or something like that happened, they would have understood and we could have cooperated something or like figured something out.
Yeah.
Also, I learned to not get emotionally attached to an offer.
Okay.
Because it can get rescinded at any time. And one last thing, I learned to utilize my resources. I found out that Kirkwood has so many resources that no one knows about. And I'm glad I utilized every single one of them.
Yeah, that's awesome. So thank you for sharing what you learned and, encouraging other students to reach out to those resources. So I know we were talking before we got started here, you mentioned something that you learned from career services about perspective. Do you want to touch on that a little bit?
Yes, actually, thank you for reminding me. So remember when I told you that after they rescinded the offer, I went back and talked to career services, and they told me, they introduced a new perspective to me, which was the HR's perspective. They explained that, that was the very first deadline that they gave me, the company gave me, and I wasn't able to meet the deadline.
Gotcha.
And they made it easier for me to look at the whole picture instead of just at the point that they rescinded the offer. And career services also was the people who talked to me about communication and how I need to communicate beforehand if something was to happen.
That's awesome. So what great takeaways. And you have such a good positive attitude, even though those were some challenging and tough things. And even though you said you're like, I gave up at one point. So it sounds like Career Services was able to help you learn how to look at things from possibly an HR perspective, and how you learned even that pre-employment deadline was
Important.
Important for whether or not, fully accepting or being taken away that opportunity. So thank you for sharing all of that you learned. But now looking forward, what is your goal after all that you've learned? What is your goal for your academic career, or even searching for an internship for the future?
First of all, use what I learned and learn from my mistakes.
Okay.
Even though internships aren't required for my field, I still think that it's really essential for experience and getting exposure to like the hands-on or like field work stuff, especially for civil engineering. Most of their work are like outdoor and working with like working on sites.
Sure.
So one other thing is, once I graduate, most of the entry-level jobs require not required, but they want prior experience.
Sure.
And without graduating, you can't technically get a full-time job. So the internship just opens so many doors for me, and yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. Thank you for that. So it's great that, even getting into this career field, that you need that experience, or it can be super valuable on your resume and even for getting opportunities in the future. So I can see that you're going to keep persevering, and I'm hoping there's a door open for you in the future. So going to wrap up here, but last question for you. What advice do you have for other students who may be looking for an internship?
Okay. I'm going to say the most cliche advice you're ever going to hear, but I'm going to say it anyways. Please don't give up. Please do not give up. Even after rejections, don't give up. You can still grow a lot from the process itself. And even though internships are valuable, they're not the only path for growth.
Sure.
I learned so many things throughout the process. And if I had to complete an internship, I would have been focused on only one thing. But right now, I'm focused on so many things. I'm not saying that internships are not important, but it's okay to not get internships. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that encouraging words of don't give up, because you shared with us how at one point you wanted to, but that you kept looking, and you still, I can already see the growth and your attitude to move forward, that it's going to be great. So thank you so much for sharing your experience.
Yeah.
And thanks for joining us today.